All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna laugh. We're gonna laugh and stuff and do some jokes and laugh. I'm gonna tell you about me. I got 5 kids, yeah, and I travel a lot, so I can see them all. I was just playing. I don't see them. No, I do have 5 kids. Whenever you have a big family, you have to figure out ways to save money, right? We want to get our family pictures taken. Stuff was expensive. So we did to save money, right? So we all got in the front seat of the car, looked both ways, and ran a red light. That's what we did. 2 weeks later, the picture came in the mail. But my son blinked, so we had to do it again. So I was doing that joke in prison recently. I wasn't in prison like, hey, I'm funny, get off me. It wasn't like that. The Bible says laughter is good like a medicine. I felt like I should take it to the sick. So we go to homeless shelters and prisons, and we're doing this. I'm at this prison, and I'm doing a joke about the red light. And 75% of the prisoners laugh, the rest of them, nothing. Then I realized what was going on. Some of them had been locked up for so long, the dude next to him had to explain the joke. He was like, see, nowadays, when you run a red light, they send a picture with a ticket in the mail. Then he looked at the dude next to him and was like, a red light is what they use for traffic when you go down the road. And then he said, a road is what, okay, wow, that's where we're at right now, man. I don't really work that hard to find comedy, it just kind of shows up. Took my daughter to get a toddler bed, it came with a 20-year warranty. I'm just gonna wait some years, I'm gonna take it back. They're gonna be like, what's wrong? I'll be like, her feet are hanging off the end. And her husband's uncomfortable. That was a joke, sir. You should have laughed right there. I know you was waiting to hear from your wife. You was like, okay, I'm gonna move on. I like sports a lot for this next joke. I'm trying some new sports now. Some friends recently took me ball hunting. Some people call it golf or whatever. First of all, took all day, and I shot a 121. That's what I shot. Yeah. Then we had lunch, and they was like, hey, we gonna do the other 9 holes now. I was like, I'm not going back out there, I'm not going. And they lied to get me to go. They was like, yo, the greens are awesome. I was like, cool. I showed up with some cornbread. I was like, all right, cool, you got some. You don't need my cornbread? Working out is important, though. I was at the gym the other month, right? And I was gonna do some cardio, right? But they moved it upstairs. I ain't going up there, man. You tripping. Elevator or something. So I'm about to do some cardio. I'm about to work out, and I get recognized by this lady. She's like, she's one of them. I was like, hey, how you doing? She's like, Michael Jr., you don't understand. You're my favorite comedian. Every time I see you, I laugh my butt off. I was like, keep laughing. Yo, and the gym we go to, right, has free childcare, which is awesome, right? So the kids are doing like arts and crafts, and me and my wife, we at home. Yeah, we at home. Probably eating ice cream or something. Yeah, it's great too. It's great because it's 24-hour fitness, so we pick them up the next day. We're like, yo, good. I used to play sports. If you ever played any sport before, you heard your coach say something like this to you before. He'll look at you and he'll say, listen, the stuff I'm teaching you here, it's not just about this game. You can apply it to life. You ever hear that before? Exactly. If you're a coach out there, you're watching, I need you to stop saying that immediately, because it's not true. Let me explain. Straight out of high school, I got a job parking cars. One of the cars was really nice, so I took it for a little spin. Company found out my boss lost the account. He was yelling at me, screaming. I ain't know what to say or do. I thought back to my high school football coach. I was like, you know what, man? You win some, you lose some, man. You can't let this one loss get you down. The important thing is, I went out there and I had fun. And this is fun too. Thanks a lot. I'm Michael Jr.
This is why we wanted to get this guy for the entire year we've done this show.
I know, man. I appreciate it. I know you kept calling and stuff.
Yeah, we did.
You was calling.
You know, I'm looking at this crowd and I'm realizing they're exactly who you need to show up at a film that you've got coming out.
I do have a movie coming out. It's crazy you should mention that.
Yeah. Amazing, huh?
That is crazy. Like, the timing is ridiculous. Like, I just happen to be here and you bring up a movie.
Well, but I mean, it's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, like on Thursday.
Yeah.
One night only.
Yeah.
So it's one night only. It's called More Than Funny. And the way this thing got established is I was doing comedy outside a club in Los Angeles maybe 9 years ago. And right before I got on stage, I had a change in mindset about comedy. Normally when a comedian gets on stage, he wants to get laughs from people. And I clearly felt like a shift take place where I should give people an opportunity to laugh, which changed everything. So I lead a club that night, and there's people taking pictures with the same stuff whenever I lead a club, but this time I look across the street and I saw a homeless guy. I had never seen a homeless guy outside the comedy club before, ever. But that doesn't mean he wasn't there before. That just means before I was trying to get laughs from people, so why would I even notice him? So what I started doing in my tours is I would stop at a homeless shelter or a prison or abused children's facility before the show, and then afterwards we'd do the show, and I started sharing the stories with my ticketed audience about the people I met earlier.
Wow.
And what happened was we laughed, but then suddenly I shared this story, then the laughs got deeper. So when we did this film, it's called More Than Funny, what we decided to do was share some of those stories in the middle of the jokes. So we go from laughing to boom, we're in the woods with homeless people. Back to laughing on stage in front of 4,000 people. Boom, we're dealing with some abused children, special needs kids. So imagine you just watched a bunch of comedy, and then, so I'm doing comedy at this homeless shelter, right? And this guy named John Ramsey comes in. And I don't know this dude at all, but I feel like I should meet him. It turns out he goes into the woods and finds homeless people and brings them food. And I was like, dude, can I go? So I get on his ATV with him. This is in the comedy special. I get on his ATV, we're driving into the woods, and what I don't know is there's a family who just got kicked out of the woods by city enforcement. So they're coming out with all their stuff, the shopping carts, they're crying, and they think we're city enforcement as we roll up on them. So I want you to notice what happens when we roll up and she sees that it's not city enforcement. We're not kicking them out. It's John Ramsey, and we're there to help. Just watch what happens.
We're out of here.
We're not, no, we're coming to, I'm John with Hands of Hope. We're,
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want you to be sure to go see Michael Jr.'s Fathom event called More Than Funny. It releases on October 18th. That's not the 19th. If you go then and you've missed it. October 18th at your local theater. Find out how to get tickets online. Visit michaeljr.com or the movie website, morethanfunnymovie.com.